I'll just be surrounded by stuffed animals. That's fine. I'm an adult. I can do what I want. I share my couch with the toddler. Hey folks, Happy New Year. Welcome to 2022. It certainly has been a lot. I know that this channel was very quiet in 2021. It didn't go according to plan for a lot of reasons, for a lot of people. So we are officially closing that chapter and just moving on. I feel like last year I fell into a creative rut. Didn't really have the time or the energy to do the things that I wanted to, despite having creative wishes and desires. So that is sort of driving the focus for this goal video. While I am pretty unknown on YouTube, that's fine with me. I don't expect this to get a lot of views. I am making this video more for myself to document my goals for 2022 and then be able to come back and circle back to it for accountability reasons. If people watch this and relate and want to help hold me accountable, great. If not, that's perfectly fine. This is for me. While I am unknown in this space, I don't have specific goals about needing to reach a certain number of followers or subscribers. If I gain views, that's great, and that'll really sort of boost my confidence and my encouragement to continue posting. More or less that this is relatable to somebody. I consume a lot of costuber videos as I find them educational and inspiring to keep working. Honestly, watch a bunch of them while I am sewing. So that is my intention behind the videos, of maybe being able to achieve some of those same things. Of maybe I can educate. I'm working on it. I don't know a lot. I'm just sort of making it up as I go. I do often fly by the seat of my pants. But definitely if I could be sort of a inspiration to keep going, or just like a creative accountability buddy, in some sense, that would be a wonderful feather in my cap. But definitely not required, definitely not something I'm going to focus on. I'm going to focus on growing this channel as a way of me holding myself accountable of I made things and then I put them out there. So my goals for 2022 include creating more garments, creating more things digitally, photography, graphic design, or painting, even two-dimensional, like getting my watercolors out or getting my gouache out and working with that that way. But I also want to create more videos, so being more intentional about when I'm sewing, documenting the process so that I can create a video and put it out there for people to see. Part of that leads into goal number 2 for the channel, is to be more consistent, so that I have a consistent upload pattern of minimally at least once a month. I know that that's pretty low for YouTubers. Most folks that have a known brand here are uploading at least once a week. I don't see that that's possible for me right now. So once a month seems like a reasonable goal that I can achieve, and I'm going to start with that. If I can do more, great. Like I said, this part of this video is so that I can document my goals and then reassess when we wrap up this year and start going into the next. So right now it's creating more and being more intentional with my creation, specifically with regards of intentionally creating at least a video a month here in this space. I do have some specific projects in mind of things that I want to create. So things that I'm looking forward to this year are, there is a collaboration of, I guess it's more like a collaborative dream of a bunch of creators locally around me. So not internet personas, just people who are in my nerd community of sewists, where we want to have an Edwardian tea party without giving away too much because this is a video that I want to make because I'm very excited about this, where we would all be in a collection of Edwardian outfits and go to like a public park and have tea or whatever, and have like a photo shoot and just be silly and get together and see each other, because we haven't seen each other because pandemic. I know that I've made a couple of Edwardian outfits recently in the last couple of years. I really enjoyed the silhouette, so I'm looking forward to making another one. This one will be a different challenge. So while I feel like I have a good understanding of the silhouette and I've got the undergarments all ready to go, I'm very excited for the challenge that this particular tea party dress would give me. And I'm gonna stop there because I'm being vague and that's not very fun. But that should happen, like the due date for that would be this summer. So we'll probably see that, me getting that out there in the world, hopefully early to midsummer, and that'll be a blast. I'm really excited about that. One of my big personal goals is to continue using things that are in my stash fabric-wise, not buying a lot of new materials. Obviously, for some specific projects, I will need to buy new things to fit certain schematics, but generally speaking, I don't have necessarily a project planned out for every month. I don't have a big, like, long list of era dresses that I want to make. So if I do come across anything, I might need to buy fabric for, but I'm going to start looking in my stash first. I have a ton of fabric. I'll insert some footage of my bins, but a friend's mom had like an attic space full of fabric, and I went through and I took boxes of fabric home and I've washed it and I've set it aside and folded it up. I don't know how many yards of fabric I have, but I have multiple bins of fabric just from that attic space, plus my own bad habits of purchasing fabric without necessarily having a project in mind. So I think a fun project would be to do something that's Stash Buster related, at least once a month, where I rummage through and I find a pattern, and then I rummage through and I find the fabric that'll work for it, or vice versa. If I really want to start with a fabric and then find a pattern for it, great. But that'll be my goal, is to use the fabric that I have on hand to make things as much as possible. With my more historical related projects, I might need to be more particular about my fabric, or if I'm making a certain costume, I'll need to be more particular about my fabric choices. But for the most part, using what I have on hand for the fabric, instead of buying new fabric every time, and trying to be better about not walking into SR Harris or Joann's and just buying fabric that doesn't have a specific purpose in mind because I love it. That'll be good for my wallet, and that'll be good for my storage space. I have a few other eras that I want to tackle and learn about and have in sort of my costuming wardrobe. I love a lot of silhouettes. I love a good challenge. I love to learn about the historical fashion and how things are made. I don't know that I'm ever going to be a hand sewer like Bernadette Banner. Maybe for some things, but that's not. I have a machine and that's more efficient for me right now. A couple of the eras that I think that I have the fabric for, I need to measure it out from that stash. But I really want to make a Civil War era gown. I bought some boots from American Duchess, and again, it's my thing. I buy the shoes and then I'll make the outfit, I guess. But I bought the boots because I like how they look and I've worn them with my regular clothes. But I think I would like a Civil War dress to sort of go along with it. I think I have the fabric on hand, so hopefully we get to that later. I don't know how comfortable I am with starting a new era while pregnant because I can't wear the corsets yet. But like I could start working on the Edwardian because I know that that silhouette fits me and like what I would be wearing, and like I just wouldn't put the clasps on the skirt until I'm in it. So I want to make a Civil War era gown, and then I actually have the fabric. I purchased it 2-3 years ago from S.R. Harris to make a 1870s. It's two truly Victorian patterns. It's an 1870s bodice and an 1875 skirt, so 1870s ball gown that is loosely Cinderella inspired in terms of the fabric. So fabric choice not historically accurate. I don't care because it's pretty. That's what I want to make it out of. So I'm hoping that is on my bucket list for this year. I need to complete that. I've had the fabric for years. I need to get it done. It needs to happen. I have work to do. We're going to do it. Practically, I would like to make some new Ren Fair garb for my whole family. My husband performs out there. He's been out there for 10 years. We do buy garments rotationally, but it's time for him to get some new doublets. And while I'm terrified of making men's clothing, I think that the doublet is what I will tackle first. So we'll see if we can do that. So that'll be very exciting. He definitely deserves some new garb. I would like a new gown. It'll be an Italian Renaissance gown, but I'm hoping to make something that is a bit easier for me to pump or breastfeed, as fair runs August through end of September, first weekend of October, typically. So I will definitely need access to breast milk for my baby. The current Italian dress that I have is lovely and I'm obsessed with it. Thank you, Lindsay. Is backlaced, so I can't get myself in and out of it to nurse or to pump. So I think I'd have to figure out how to do a side lace. So that'll be a fun challenge. I've never made one, but I'm pretty confident in that. It's a big rectangle skirt and then a fitted bodice. So that should be fun. As you can tell, I've got plenty of ideas running around in my head. Some are more fleshed out than others. So with that, let's roll into 2022 with creative intention and tackle these projects with coffee and confidence. I wish you a happy new year, and we'll see you in the next video. You're very helpful while filming. You're so cute. Look at your little toe beans. Oh, did I wake you up?